Okay, so nowadays we're thinking about Independence Day and what goes on at 2007 of 2014 at 1956 to 2017 as you focus more on world history and knowing more about Boston, of Maryland, of Connecticut, of Boomtown at the time, Jamestown at the time. So, that's pretty much what it went by at the time. And, it's pretty much what we were learning to know as a philosopher, as a geologist, and as a scientist at the time. So, it's pretty much where you're learning more of your chemical characteristics at the time. So, that's being able to teach you more of what's your selective traits and, understanding more about how you concept with world geography at the time. So, that's pretty much just working with the East Coast versus the West Coast after 1854 to 1994, and who had the rights to fully obtain acre by acre of the property that we were making in 2002 to 2023. So that's pretty much where we're at right now as far as max preps go, and as far as Google Docs go, as far as Broadway banking go. That's just as far as um, Comcast, T-Mobile, and Frost go at the time. So I was working with other applications within the categories of ecourb and PMC2 squared and an EcoLeaf mega platform. So it's pretty much three different governors that mandate different details that go into their congressional law order or their bill statement or their tax deficit, however they want to reference their tax out. It's pretty much where they're paying that extended fee for everything that they want as they order it. Whether it's Jimmy John's or Kinko's or Office Depot, or even Jack in the Box, Wendy's, Burger King. He is basically looking at Nevada, of Arizona, and in in Colorado in 1956 to 2096. So that's just being able to make different categories of Declaration of Independence at the time. As you know more about Declaration of Independence, we're looking at different ways how we celebrate Independence Day. So it's pretty much how we're using 2007 of 2014 and 2022, and we're celebrating our older days as far as it being 1956 in a New Deal era mindset at the time. So it's pretty much looking at the books that we've read, and being able to composite off the books that we read and what we were doing when we was reading those books, and basing our objectives off major components of the galaxies that roam our area at the time of New Deal era, and Roe versus Wade, and several different characters that played a role in their century with that same slogan or the same line that always conspired actorship to act in a standard way that gave it more clarification towards it being an actual movie, or it being more animated than it was actually performed at the time. We wanted something to be kind of funny before it was something violent. It's pretty much where you wanted to provide more of a amusing character. You wanted that amusing character to brighten its chapters, and understand more than it just being one symptom. So it's pretty much where you're using 19 to 91 different categories of 591 different units at the time. So it's pretty much using 59,000 dimes to promote different objectives of categories that go on to Hugo's categories at the time. So that's pretty much using all of nationalism, all of world history, all of world geography, as more about different locations that have Penske, Granger, T-Mobile, Google Docs, Frost, that have those applications invested in them that you would normally go to that. And that's up to True West. You have different companies like True West that you can go to and be able to inform and get subscribed to their channels, and know more about the present day of history in 2014 of 2022. So that's pretty much as more about your present day history of Lexus versus Infinity versus Mazda at the hour. So it's pretty much where you're working with how to inform you with the decencies of 2006 and 2014 and 2022 at the same time, as you making more references to better bill statement to better bill statement allowances. And the reason why we make better bill statement allowances to um, update the native chapters is we're basically wanting to build up Declaration of Independence forms that have better consumption rates, as you're making more towards 2006 of 2034, and being able to make a plural meal for 4 weeks, 14 weeks, 28 weeks. Be able to make a premium standard meal, and it wouldn't matter what time of day it was, whether it was breakfast, lunch, or dinner. That's pretty much what we wanted to inform at the time. So that's pretty much where we want to be able to use at least 44 hours of reference to get a premium standard look, or a standard premium look of a standard premium look of that proposition. So that's pretty much where you're looking at least 577 objectives of that character, and understanding more of that described county of a area at the time. So it's pretty much paying more attention to Austin versus Florida versus Oklahoma versus Colorado versus Nevada. So it's pretty much where you're using those differences, and adding at least 59,000 dimes to what you combine like terms to, as far as what you are interested in, and versus something that you're not interested in, versus where it's at, versus if it's in your area of your state or it's in another state. That's pretty much where you're just doing your pros and cons on that type of characteristics at the time. So that's just pretty much just being able to follow the capital intuition of being 56 years old, 46 years old. So he's just spending that on important confidential files that make you more of a important subscriber in the history. So it's pretty much where you're using more for education and being able to subscribe different private investments to instructors or into those subscribers that need a little jump into how their business is propelled at the time. So that's working from 1986 to 2022, and being able to provide that with AT4 analysis, Z71 analysis, Infinity QX80 analysis. You got Infinity in there, you got Lexus in there, you got a little bit of I said Infinity. Okay, so yep. So that's already a lot of cars that's working on 56, 76, 86 cars already that had its provision already as of 2026 of 2022. So it's just working with greater tax reforms of pickle reform, and being able to know more about Google Docs, and going up to so basically at the end of the day, we're just making different programs and different profiles based off of what we like and what we don't like. So you just basically getting the differences out of what you want to provide in your composition. So we're not going to baby you. You're not made of elementary spirits. This is high school. We practice like we're in college, just because that's something that the C.R. England, the Averett, the Pam, the Stephen Transport, Arnold, ABF, PFG, TNI, that's something that they all have, that they make as a prominent order, and as just being a compound combination of a CDL driver, of a independent homeowner. So it's pretty much where they being able to focus in on all type of intuitive acknowledgments that make a better adjustment for Arizona, for Arizona, not just the state, but the beverage that it comes with. So being able to know about the juice cocktail that it comes with. So it's pretty much where you're working with Arizona, or you're going with all types of other drinks like PepsiCo and all that good stuff. So it's pretty much where you're working with that good stuff for 1974 to 2034. And it's just pretty much just working with the whole detail, for 55 years and 74 years and 24 years at a time. So it's just pretty much working with yellow, green, and orange catastrophics from Branham to Waco from 1974 to 2006. And being able to work with that at the Tigers, and with Runtex is pretty much where we started our lower 1954 to 2074. So that's pretty much where we was working with the Audi, and with the urban day upkeep of Tennessee, Oklahoma, Kentucky, Colorado, a big state transition, and it's pretty much where we get more of a bigger jurisdiction plan to do what you need to do to be okay about a career investment. So, with that, we are we are prominently above our career objectives. We are just waiting on deferments to happen, um as far as knowing what objectives to know about, as far as going to Chicago, or going in different objectives of the day at the time. So, it's pretty much working with 1957 of 2076 between Southwest and Infinity and Lexus at the time. So, it's pretty much where you working on 57 to 76 months of aggravation, assault, threatening. You've been through it all at the time, after you going through 2024. So, it's pretty much part of that CNN or that MSN, or that TransUnion Reflect software digital data at the time. So, it's pretty much, what goes in 98% of the time. Being able to watch out for separation of powers and Bill of Rights and Articles of Confederation of Connecticut, from Delaware to Maryland and Boston. So, it's pretty much, as you know more about those states, more about your intercontinental phases of the pride. So, it's pretty much we're using those details to promote more for those default profiles of a certain category of states. So, it's pretty much using 97 of 47, purple, green, and orange. So, it's pretty much using 2012, 2032 as Christmas comes, and, you're more enveloped by Boston Celtics, Green Bay. You got many of those in there. So, it's pretty much something that's looked out for